G'day Shedders, and welcome to the April edition of Shed TV. Today we've been invited to come and have a look at the shed of an Australian pop legend. Now have a listen and see if you can tell who it is.
Look at there, there he goes, there goes the funny man. The life of the party, that's me. Good boy. Ladies and gentlemen, Ross D.I.Y. I can't get up there anymore.
The funny man.
The whole thing needs a bit of lubrication, mate.
Oh, it sounds nice, Ross. Ross D.I.Y, we're in
The real one.
The real one.
How do you do, mate?
Very well, thank you. Thanks for having us today.
My
Here at
pleasure.
the shed, we've come on a bit of an excursion. Now, Ross is an Australian pop legend. He had a hit with Funny Man, and then followed that up with The Star, which did make it to #1 in 1969.
Yeah, that was the big one.
So as well as recording and performing, you hosted a pop music show, Uptight.
Yep.
And then went on to host Happening 70.
Yep. 4 years of television, yeah.
So life before the hit songs and the television appearances, how did you start out? What led you to performing, and were you always interested in music?
I'll make it very quick. 8.5, I had polio in my, I was paralysed from the waist down virtually in the beginning, but they got one side back. Anyway, I couldn't play footy, tennis, cricket, whatever it might have been, you know. So as I got older, the doctors recommended that I had some sort of music tuition. The muso teacher said to my mum, he doesn't want to play guitar, he wants to sing. So from there it started. I was doing a Stedford for the school, and I used to sing 3 times a Sunday at church with Mum in the evening. I did a show in a hotel on the south side of Brisbane, and in those days you were a very, very scary place, the south side of Brisbane. But I went and did this 20-minute stand-up. So this was Friday night, and I sang Knock on Your Door, Sea Cruise, Running Bear, something like that. And after I came off, this old bloke came up to me and he stuck his hand out and shook his hand. And he said, "That was great, mate." And as I pulled my hand away, there's £5 in it. And I'm trying to give it back to him. And he insisted that I take that £5. And the light globe went on and said, "Hey, you got £5. You enjoyed yourself. The audience enjoyed themselves. This is maybe what I want to do."
This is the way to go.
Yeah.
You came to public notice in a golden era for Australian pop. Your musical contemporaries are people like Ronnie Burns, John Young, Russell Morris. How did you manage to break into the scene?
I'd started to tour. I'd left Brisbane not on a semi-permanent basis and touring around in Australia. And Normie Rowe's manager of the day was a fellow called David Joseph. He saw me on the last night of a tour in Brisbane. And he came up to me after the show, he said, "I'll be talking to you." And I'm going, "Oh yeah, the man with the big cigar, you know." Anyway, he rang a couple of weeks later, and I just got engaged to my now wife, Arlene. He said, "I got 4-hour, live-to-air, unrehearsed television show. Find your own way to Melbourne, own accommodation, and I got $60 a week."
Which in those days was?
Not even an apprentice was making that.
Okay.
It was nothing.
So Ross D. Wylie, where's the D come from?
Well, some might say something nasty, but no, it's my middle name, David. So as a young fella, I thought Ross Wylie was a bit bland for being a rock and roll star, you know. So I just put in the D, so it's Ross D. Wylie. So just sort of had a bit of a ring to it.
Got a bit of ring and zing.
Yeah.
Now, you spent a lot of time on the road, on the pub and club circuit. Placed a lot of demands on your time. How did you balance that with your family and your personal life?
The essence to, as they say, behind every great man, there's a good woman.
Or the other way, isn't it?
Or the other way. And in my case, it is the other way. Because without my wife, I don't know what I'd do or what I would have become. Because it's such a stressful existence. It's such a tough business to be in. At least 8 hours of energy, of work in a day, in 45 minutes on stage.
So what have been some of the important moments in your life since then, since your performing days?
I'd have to say my grandchildren. They're just a delight. It's fantastic because you can give them back. But that's one thing. But having them at the same time is really great. I've started driving jockeys around for Meals on Wheels. And that's really a good thing to do because that you see the other parts of life that you won't see if you're locked up in your shed. It gets you out of your normal routine a little bit. It makes you get up in the morning because you don't want to let the rest of the volunteers down because there's a limited amount of people volunteering to do X amount of runs, and if you don't turn up, without ringing them or something, then they're in a bit of a flap because they're one driver down or they're one jockey down.
Well, you've kindly invited us to your shed today. Here we are. What does your shed mean to you?
This is my little sort of hideaway, I suppose. Got my beautiful open fire, better in the wintertime. My mobile scooter is on charge over there so I can nick around and see my grandchildren. There's a radio there to listen to some sport, mostly some 60s, 70s music.
Yeah.
It really isn't a shed, of course. It's a converted garage. But when it rains, then I've got problems.
Oh, okay.
As in most sheds,
yeah,
I guess.
But
I tell you one thing you won't find in here is tools. I don't have any.
You're not?
No. Wouldn't know one end from the other.
Ross, thank you so much for having us today. It's been a privilege talking to you, and I know a lot of our members on the Shed Online will be really interested to hear about your story, or at least some of your story. I'm sure there's plenty more. If you don't mind, we'd like to hang around for a little bit longer and tell our viewers what's going on the side.
Absolutely.
But what we normally say is, till next time, shedders. Till next time.
Oh,
it's you and me.
Okay.
You and me.
1, 2, 3.
Till next time, shedders. Maybe you've got some memories of Ross's music or his TV shows. So why not jump onto the discussions forum and post a comment? That way you can share it with the Shed community. While you're on the discussions page, you want to take a look at our special Ask an Expert event. We've got a handyman, do-it-yourself question and answer that everyone can participate in. Now, the last time we did one of these, our handyman expert was able to help a lot of shedders out. So we thought we'd give it another go. All you have to do to post a question is to look for the special event Handyman DIY discussion topic on the discussions page this month. Get your questions in early and we'll get back to you with some advice and tips to help you solve your handyman quandaries. New in the activities section this month is something we like to call Shed Showcase. We've gone out on the road and we've visited a few blokes who've been kind enough to show us around their sheds. So once you've had a look, maybe you might want to send us in a photo or a video of your shed. Every bloke's shed is different. Yours may be full of tools, or maybe it's more of a garage or a place to hang out like Ross's here. Might be a room with a bar fridge and a snooker table, or a bungalow in the backyard. We're interested to see your shed space. So have a look for the Shed Showcase discussion on the discussions page and upload a picture or video there. When you make a post, you'll see a little Add Attachment button. After you've clicked on this, you can choose a picture file from your computer, or you can just write about what you like about your shed. It'll be great to hear from you. My usual co-host on Shed TV, John, is away travelling around the country at the moment. It's a bit of a pity because I was really hoping to play a few April Fool's pranks on him. Might have to hold them back till he comes home. Now, you can check out postcards from John on the activities page, and you can see what he's been up to. We'd love to hear about the places you've visited, so we've set up a postcards discussion topic for you to tell us about your favourite spots. You'll find it in the Sport and Leisure discussion section. It might be somewhere you've been on holiday, or you might want to showcase your own town. Try uploading a video or photo of the place so that all the shedders can have a look. Well, that's just about it from Shed TV for this month. Make sure you check out the activities page, and if you want to keep up to date with what's happening in your neck of the woods, check out the news and events sections. Also, have a look at the discussions page. New topics are turning up all the time. If there's something that interests you, why not try taking part in a discussion yourself? Don't worry if you've never done it before, it's pretty straightforward. Finally, if you aren't a member of the Shed online yet, then join up. It's free and it gives you access to discussion forums and our Ask an Expert special events. So, it's goodbye from Ross's Shed, and I'll see you next time on Shed TV. Till next time, Shedders.